Hello and welcome to the
Cool.
Gentleman's first Q&A. I'm joined with Troy and I'm Charlie, and together we make up the super powerhouse musical unit next to, up there with the greats like AC/DC and Metallica, the Gentlemen. We have like some really common questions that we'll kick it off with. So the first one being, how did we meet and how did the band start? And I'll go ahead and take that one. Troy sent me an email like early 2019 because I'd been a fan of his Soul State project for a while, and then I made the Puffin Princess account, which had just like a ton of songs from my iPod, just straight boner jams. And Soul State was like the top of a lot of those playlists. So then he just reached out after finding that and just said, "Hey, thanks," and I checked out your shit, and it's pretty good. And at the time, I had this idea for 2019 Guy, and I was like, "Bro, I mean, would you want to make a song together?" And to my surprise, he said, "Absolutely," and then the rest is history, really. That's kind of how that all started. Unless you have a different telling of
That's
the
yeah.
tale.
That's right. I remember the songs that I'd released, they were like from 2013, and like they'd been on YouTube forever. And suddenly I was getting all these comments about, oh, this is moist and something on the moist meter, and I was like, what the fuck? It was like all this action on these videos. So I was like googling moist meter, and then I found Charlie's channel. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I started watching your channel, going, oh, this guy's actually cool. So that's when I sent through the email just saying, well, thanks because you brought some more eyes on the music, more ears, and yeah, then you're like, hey, let's do a. I think your wording was a professional joke or something,
Yeah,
professional
yeah.
sounding joke, and yeah, and that's how we met, and that's how it started, and we've just been playing it by ear ever since.
I mean, the song's called 2019 Guy, but that shit is timeless, man. We really hit the ground running with that. You crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Troy had to work with like raw microphone on like fucking uncompressed Audacity files, and he made it sound great. So it was lovely.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, the whole thing sound like honestly, if you'd sent it to me and it was like absolute garbage, I would have said, "Look, dude, I probably can't do anything with it." But when I heard it, I was like, "Yeah, this is catchy as shit. It's great." So it was definitely not a task to make it sound good.
Oh, well, that's very sweet, man. So yeah, it's kind of like the genesis of the Gentlemen. The name
Yeah,
was like something we came up with last minute though, because we needed a name for Spotify. I think like
yeah,
one of the other ones I tossed around was like Evolution of Tears. It was just kind of staying in like this sad guy kind of realm. I don't remember the
yeah.
other ones though. So then the next most commonly asked question is, which song did you most enjoy making? For me, that's going to be Skynet. I really fucking loved Skynet, just telling this really goofy story and then having a music video that has absolutely everything about it perfect. It was just an unreal joy. Something I've always wanted to be a part of. So for me, definitely Skynet.
I think for me, the most fun one we did was Real to Me because it was so fast.
Mm.
Like I remember you said, "Hey, let's do this song sounding like this about this," and we did it so fast. It was like within a month we had finished the song, made the video, and it was out. And then we had people doing covers of it. It was just like the whole process. There was like no stress about it. There was no issues. It was just a whole, real fast and real fun. So I think, I mean, as an experience, that was my favorite experience.
Yeah.
But they've all been a ton of fun for me. Yeah, Skynut's fucking amazing. Yeah.
So the next
Um,
one, will you ever do serious songs or stick to comedy slash memes?
I have no idea what they're talking about. They're all serious.
That's what I was thinking as well. This almost sounds like a
Yeah,
bit of an insult. Like these
yeah.
songs
I,
come
I'm
from
not.
the heart and the soul.
Yeah, I didn't know how to answer that. So no, they're all serious.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
All right. Okay. So another one. Will you ever tour slash stream a show? Um, we really want to play live. There's obviously hurdles like, COVID and traveling. There's issues with the fact that I live in a different country. We've spoken about it and we do want to do it. And I'm going to say, yes, we will play live shows, but fuck, who knows when. In the short term, we've been talking about doing like a live stream show. So I get a band together over here. We record it live in a studio, and then Charlie sings over the top and does it live. So it'll be kind of live, but it won't be the same, obviously, as the live experience. But yes, we do want to, and if we can make it happen, we'll do it.
Yeah, it's definitely
Charlie?
something we're looking forward to. I think the whole idea of it is just super fucking fun to be able to like pump out that shit in person. I think that'd just be a great time and get, of course, like other bands involved to be part of it as like a little festival or something. I think that
Oh
would just
yeah.
be super.
Will you release an album or physical thing or EP? Yes. Yes. We've got big plans. Uh, we're not exactly sure if it's going to be an album or an EP that we do next, but it'll be really soon. And I mean, like early next year, we're going to release something physical, 100%. And then we've got some really cool ideas for more releases next year. So yes, definitely, it's coming.
Yeah,
We're
that's
working
another
on
thing
it.
we're looking forward to. Make it something like worth collecting as well. Have some like cool
Yeah,
shit in there, like bonus track or something, a collectible card game. I don't know, fucking anything really. Just something
yeah,
cool. Make it memorable.
yeah, yeah. So we'll do like some vinyl and just some cool stuff. So it's not just a CD that no one wants to play. Because who has a CD player? Do you have a CD player?
I haven't seen a CD player since I was 12 years old when I was playing Aaron Carter on it.
I have a CD player, but
You also is that right next to your X Files collection of cards and ET figurines?
it's collecting dust. So the first one is from it's on Instagram. It's from Valentino. Hey, how did Charlie learn that fry technique? Did his girlfriend actually sing in 2019 Guy? What other instruments can Troy play? So you might as well start that off with your
Yeah,
fry stuff.
I'll kick it off. So I've been trying to like actually get good at screaming. For 2019 guy, it was a lot of Troy's magic because that was when I was first learning fry scream. So it kind of just sounded like a 9-year-old got his dick stuck in the jean zipper. So Troy was able to like take a high part of that and then a low part of like a growl I did to make it sound more like of a powerful fry. But I've just been practicing and working on it. A lot of it's not really like fry though. A lot of it's more like a chest kind of scream that I do these days because it's more comfortable for my throat. But I'm trying to get better at like the more high, bring me the horizon fries and stuff like that. And for 2019 guy, that is not Tiana actually. That is Troy's girlfriend.
Yeah. So regarding that fry stuff, yeah, I remember Charlie said, look, I really want to like scream bit in here. Can you do it? And I was like, no, you do it. You just learn how to do it and do it.
Yeah.
And when he sent it through, I was like, holy shit, he can do it. So yeah, it sounded fucking great, and he's learning more and more about it. No, so 2019 guy, when we were putting the song together, I said, hey, I've got an idea for a female to be singing the second half of the chorus, so like singing to Charlie. So I just, because my girlfriend's a singer, I just got her in, and that's her singing. It's not
Yeah.
Tiana.
Tiana is in real to me though. She's
Yeah,
just not in
yeah,
2019 guy.
yeah. So Tiana's doing these beautiful harmonies and real to me in the bridge. If you listen, you can hear her just on the high notes. It's great. What other instruments do I play? I just give anything a try. It's mostly just guitar, bass. I can play a bit of drums, bit of keyboard. I'll just try anything, but they're my main instruments.
This comes from Sin or SNN. Do you guys plan on doing collabs with other artists, and has anyone reached out to you regarding collabs? Fuck yeah. So upcoming, Freddie Dredd actually already announced this, so we can talk about it. We're going to be doing a more like grungy rap song with Freddie Dredd, whom I'm a big fan of, so I'm really excited for that. Troy was also mentioning a couple other potential collabs in the future, but the answer is like a resounding yes. Would love to do more like collab projects with other artists, even just not like rock based artists and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do it. I think one of the points is as well is that we're kind of playing everything by ear. We don't really
Yeah.
have a plan. We're just like, hey, should we do this? Let's do it. So it's not like we've plotted out this whole band thing. It's like, what should we do next? What should we do next? So now we're kind of thinking about next year and just trying to have a bit of a better plan. Okay, who are your biggest inspirations? Oh, sorry, who asked this? Nathan Unra on Instagram. Who are your biggest inspirations in music? Like, who were your favorite bands growing up that really inspired you? Charlie?
For me, I guess like so I don't have like a vocal inspiration because my voice just doesn't really fit a lot of things, but I guess for me it'd be like Chino Moreno of Deftones. At least I think that's what his name is. I've always really liked Deftones and I love the way that he sings as well as screams. I can't really match it very well, but I'd definitely say as far as like a vocal inspiration, it'd definitely be Chino.
What about bands, like musically? Like, do you like listen, hear a band and go, that inspires you to want to make music?
Oh yeah, yeah. So like some of the old ones, like Chiodos is one. I definitely want to do some kind of like old school post-hardcore song or Dance Gavin Dance stuff like that. When I hear those songs, I just get really hype and want to make a song similar to it. You know, all about crying about being
Cool.
broken up with or whatever.
Cool. Um, I think for me, like my inspirations to make music were when I was a teenager, and it's all pretty typical stuff like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. When I was a really young, Metallica. They're the things that got me into wanting to make music. Um, Growing up, yeah, I mean Pink Floyd. I used to love Pink Floyd. But yeah, just it's all pretty generic sort of teenage stuff from when I was a teenager. There's nothing too out there.
Yeah, I get that. So this one comes from Stefano Carraro, and he says, "You change style in almost every song released. What genre do you think fits you the most? What other genres do you plan on exploring?" And then says, "Keep up the good work." Well, thank you, Stefano. And for what genre I think fits us the most? Well, I guess me the most is the real to me genre because it kind of like helps that I don't have to belt anything because my voice isn't really like fit for that at the moment. So when I get to do like mellow singing, I think that works better for me. And I also just really like that genre in the first place. And as for other genres we plan on exploring, pretty much everything you can imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if we did like a fucking yodeling folk song some point. Just constantly changing the genre is a lot of fun. So like, the Freddie Dredd one, for example, is going to be completely different from any of the other ones we've released, as well as some of the other ones we have planned, some like old school pop, kind of like Backstreet Boys stuff, pretty much everything. I just think it's a lot of fun to keep mixing things up so you don't just stay stagnant in the same zone.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's part of the fun for this band for me is trying different things. Like it's so easy. It's an easy thing to just make a general rock song. Because I've been making rock music for forever. So when Charlie says, "Hey, let's do something like Obsession," I was like, "Oh fuck, okay, I got to figure out how to do this," and that's what makes it exciting for me. So I just want to try, like Charlie said, just try and do whatever. And that's part of the fun is it's our take on it. It's our take on a certain style or genre. Okay, this is from Lee Ann on Instagram. What would you say is the most satisfying part in the process of making music? Do you have any fond memories or things that you've learned during the production of your music?
I learned that I can't sing super well when it comes to like singing loudly. That's probably like the biggest lesson I've learned. So now I'm trying to get vocal lessons and actually be able to help match Troy's intensity on a chorus or something. Because right now Troy's carrying the actual choruses because I absolutely can't fucking do it at all. If Troy ever released like the audio tapes of me trying it, it would absolutely ruin my reputation. It's bad. So I've definitely learned that I need to improve when it comes to like singing loudly.
What's the most satisfying part of the music making process for me? I think just the creation, like when I'm sitting in this room and I'm just throwing ideas together and I realize it sounds good and then I send it to Charlie and he goes, "It sounds fucking great." That's the favorite part for me. Writing the melodies and just putting the whole song together like a puzzle, finding all the pieces. Um, yeah, that's it,
Troy
that's the most
has
satisfying.
Troy has never sent me something where I'm like, damn, this isn't very good. Everything Troy sends me is like actual gold. This man is a genius. Like it's
Well,
crazy. Like you'd expect at some point you'd be tossed something, especially in a genre that they're not familiar with, and you'd be like, wow, kind of fucking sucks. Hasn't happened yet. It's all been really good.
they go through my filter first, so I have to filter them out, and then there's always the partner filter,
Did she
like to the
help you?
girlfriend.
Did she help you say it's
She'd be like,
bad?
mm, yeah, it's all right. And I go, fuck, it's not good.
Yeah.
Um,
Comes from Riley Gartman. He says, "Hello, I hope everything is well. My question for your Q&A is how the fuck did you come up with Skynet? Shit is revolutionary." It's so sweet. Hope you're doing well, Riley. And the idea for the story and the lyrics was something that I kind of brainstormed on the fly when I was in the car with a buddy of mine named Andrew. We were driving to a climbing gym, and I was like, imagine if Terminator had more semen in it. And I was like, wait just a minute. I'm onto something with this. And then it all just kind of stemmed from that. And that's really the genesis of the lyrics there. And then as for the sound of the song, I tossed the idea to Troy, what if we could combine something like Kavinsky's Night Call with, I think it was like Vicarious from Tool, or no, it was like a doom metal song I sent you. I don't remember what.
No, it was a Ghost Brigade.
Ghost
You sent me a Ghost
Brigade.
Brigade song.
That's what
It
it
was like
was.
doom metal. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, what if we combine these two? And then Troy came up with the incredible song of Skynet, the actual musicality to it.
Matthew Graham. Hi guys, I'd like to know what kind of gear Troy uses, pedals, amps, etc. It seems like he has at least a Black Gibson 2010. What gear? I mean, I mostly use this amp, a Splawn. A I use a Kemper, and pedals. I don't use any pedals. No, I just play. I go and dry. I don't use any pedals. Guitars. I mainly use this. This ESP. That's my main guitar. I've got a few others. But I'm not really a gear geek, so I just find something that I like, and then I'll use it all the time. You know, I don't like spending time tweaking things. So yeah, Splawn, Kemper, ESP. That's pretty much it.
Damn, that's a lot more simple than I expected. You don't use any pedals? That's crazy. I didn't know
No,
that.
no. I mean, I use effects within like Pro Tools. I use delay and stuff, but
Right.
actually recording into the computer, I don't use any pedals. No, I just do everything afterwards, like delay and stuff. But I just like a really straightforward guitar sound.
Mm,
It's really simple. Like gear, like honestly, like gear does not matter. You could have the shittiest guitar as long as you just get creative.
nice. All right, so then this next question comes from Sam Latham. Any songs you started to make but then decided to cancel midway through? Not yet. I don't think we've like canned any songs yet. There's songs that we talked about doing and started but just haven't finished yet, but we haven't outright said like, nah, shit sucks and stopped. Hasn't happened yet.
No, I did send you that one idea though, remember? And I realized that it sounded too much like that fucking. It sounded too much like another song. So I must have
Oh
heard this
yeah,
other
yeah,
song
yeah.
somewhere. I heard this. I must have heard it in a supermarket. What do you guys call them? Grocery stores. I must have heard it somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, I've got this melody in my head," and I wrote out this whole track, like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I was like, "This is great." I was like, "Hold on, it's definitely not
Yeah.
my idea." And I spent like a whole day trying to figure it out, and I figured out what song it was. It was that "Stop and Stare" song by what's
One
that band?
Republic. One Republic.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. But it wasn't like a
yeah,
song that we scrapped. It was just that was actually before 2004 breakup. Yeah, I remember that now. I totally forgot.
yeah, yeah. I was pissed because I'd spent like a couple of days on it, and I was like, "This is a cool little pop song," but it's not our cool little pop song.
Yeah,
It's
that
One
was
Republic
I tried
pop
my
song.
best to convince you that it's not plagiarism, but you were like too honorable. You're like, "Charlie, it's literally the same fucking song."
Yeah, so that's the only time. I mean, I've come up with ideas that like I said, I haven't sent Charlie, but they'll be like, real basic. I don't spend very long on them. Like I kind of know really quickly if it's shit and then move on. So there has never been a whole song that we've dumped. And Vitali, what comes first in the composition process? The concept slash idea for the song, or Troy laying out different guitar licks? Um, so it's been split halfway, I think. I think 2019 guy, Obsession, and Skynet all started from Charlie's vocals. He sent me the vocal idea, and then I created a song around the vocal idea. I send it back. Then we start sort of working on the parts a bit more. So they're all based around Charlie's ideas. And what's the next song after that? Real to Me. So that started from music. I just wrote like a musical track, and then I threw some melodies down, and then Charlie put the lyrics to it, and we changed the melody a bit. And 2004 breakup actually started from Charlie's. That was your chorus hook, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlie wrote the chorus vocal melody, and then I wrote the music around it, and then I wrote the verse, and it started from that. What's the next song after that? I Am Truth was started from music. I said, "Hey, I wrote this Boner Jam. Have a listen," and he goes, "Yep, sounds great. Let's do it."
Yeah.
So that started. So it's kind of half and half, Like Charlie sends me ideas, and I'll try and work music around it. And sometimes I send him music, and we go from there. Yeah.
I Am Truth was another really quick one. I remember you sent me that like what, like 2 months ago, and then we got the song pretty much done like a month after that, and then it was just a matter of getting the video together. That was
Yeah.
another like really smooth sailing one.
Yeah, that was it. Was I think the production just took a while because we had Ben Gross, of course, who mixed. He's the mix engineer. He's done Breaking Benjamin. He's done Seven Dust, Marilyn Manson, Disturbed, fucking everything. So we had him mix it, and we had to wait for him to book him in. And then, of course, the video took a while to film, but that was a pretty quick one as well.
Yeah. All right.
So
I think it's my turn here. This comes from Lost. Hey guys, huge fan of your work. Which has been the biggest musical challenge both of you have had to tackle this year in terms of pushing things beyond what you're used to or stepping outside your comfort zones? For me, it's everything. I have absolutely no musical background. I've had no aptitude in music in my life. I've just always had a love of it. So for me, it was just everything was out of my comfort zone. Singing, writing, lyrics, all of it. I'd never done any of it before, so hopefully they've been getting better over the course of us doing this because I've been really trying to get better at the whole thing. But that was definitely for me just the biggest part is literally everything music.
honestly, man, I'm so surprised because like when you said to me, I've never done any of this shit before, and suddenly you went from doing nothing to being in songs. It's a pretty big jump. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to write like 2 years worth of crap songs and then suddenly write it. It was just like straight into it. That's a pretty good milestone, man. That you
Thank
should
you, man.
definitely pat yourself on the back.
I appreciate that.
Um, yeah, that's cool. I mean, so what was the question? What was the biggest challenge?
Yeah, biggest musical challenge.
I think obsession was because I do know not I know nothing about electronic pop music, so I just kind of spent a bit of time learning it. So that was a real challenge. I think that was probably the biggest one. Maybe 2004 breakup because it was a little bit like I've never in my life written a pop punk song, so trying to work out how that works. But I wouldn't. They're good challenges. They're not like, oh fuck, I'm stumped or anything. So yeah.
I remember in 2004
Uh,
breakup we had that a bit of a hang up with the lead into the chorus. We couldn't quite get the timing of
oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Because the thing about that song is it goes from minor to major. It's like a big different jump in key. So when we were singing the wrong key going into the chorus, so that was a challenge. But I think we just kind of went fuck it, let's just do this, and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kavish Velo. Will there be more songs in the style of I Am Truth? I really love the modern metalcore sound, but I do understand why you guys would change the genres of your next songs. Charlie.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think if you're a
Yeah.
fan of like modern metal, you'll probably really like one of the ones we're cooking up right now.
Yeah.
It's another like real high intensity, big boner jam one. It's we like to switch up genres, of course, but I mean, it's not like we're only gonna ever do one of each genre ever. It's just keeping things fresh is nice.
Yeah, for sure. Like if we get the vibe and feel like writing another one, we'll definitely do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Is I Am Truth an ARG? Quite simple as the header asked. This comes from Yay Yay. Is the subreddit just a little Easter egg? Is there actual things to find like Skynet? Also, thanks so much for the song. It's a really good song. Listen to it all the time. Well, thank you, Yay Yay. Glad you like the song. And kind of, Troy had a really cool idea for I Am Truth actually to create like a whole little tie-in to a little gentleman universe. If you want to tell them about that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it's definitely not an ARG.
No, not quite that
Um,
deep yet.
no, I mean, because the song's about conspiracies. Charlie said let's make it about a conspiracy nut, and I was like, well, why don't we start a subreddit with silly conspiracies on it, and we'll have the guy. So the guy reading the subreddit is supposed to be the guy from Obsession, isn't it? Because his name's
Hmm.
Skynet. So it's supposed to be tied in with the storyline of the same guy, and so there's a subreddit that you see on the screen, and then we just thought it'd be fun. We'd put some silly theories in there. People go and have a laugh, write their own ones down. Um, that's not to say that we're not going to, use some Easter eggs from that song in the next song. We may do that.
Yeah, maybe
But
over
what
time it goes into a full ARG. I mean, we don't know yet.
disclaimer from Dre Matrix. I love your music. Thank you. That you've done so far. My favorite is Real to Me. Will you guys ever start making serious music? I hate the way it sounds. Do you guys understand? Once again, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What do you?
Literally.
Yeah, what is this? Is this some kind of rumor or something? We don't make serious songs.
Oh,
This is the hard subject matter other bands are afraid to tackle. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, what's not serious about someone being obsessed with the streamer girl, or what's not serious about
exactly.
someone having an obsession with the anime girl? They're all serious topics. None of them are
Yeah, and
jokes.
cuckolding is huge right now. I think that's
Yeah.
something that needs to be talked about.
Everybody has asked Charlie about his preferred genres and bands a million times, so I'd like to ask. Sorry, this is from Bonafide. I'd like to ask the same of Mr. Troy. What's some of your favorite bands and preferred genres of music? I don't really listen to music. It sounds terrible, but I spend so much time making it. I try not to listen to it too much because, you know, for the reason I said before, you start writing other people's lyrics and other people's melodies. But I kind of need a break from music. I don't listen to too much, but I generally go back to my old favorites. Like I love Soundgarden. I still love Soundgarden. I love Caius. I don't know if you've heard of them. Ghost Brigade. Brigade. I've been getting into them. I love Thrice, like their Alchemy Index. They're like some of my favorite pieces of music. Um, what else? Shit, Tori Amos. I love listening to Tori Amos. So I'd say like Circus Survive. That's another one. So really love Circus Survive. You know.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me it's a ton of bands and shit. I could go on and on. I guess like a favorite band is one that I've had for a while, which is Cybreed. They're like an old industrial
Oh
metal
yeah.
band. I really like Cybreed, Rise to Fall. I have a favorite album though. That's Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park. I mean that
Oh,
like
is it?
yeah, that defined like my entire childhood. Like that was the most influential shit ever. That's when I like found guitars because until then I was just listening to what my parents had on the radio, which was like Walk Like an Egyptian, Dido, stuff like that, which is all cool and fine, but then like
Oh
Hybrid
yeah,
Theory
yeah.
came around and I was like, wow, this is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. All this angst. So, that's my favorite album.
So this is like a recording question, I guess. What kind of mic do you use to record your music? What are some of the general tips for someone who wants to start recording music? I've been trying to record music recently. I'd really like your insights. That's from Christopher Kaczynski. I think I got that right. Honestly, that shit doesn't matter. Don't even worry about mics and stuff like that. Like Charlie recorded 2019 guy on a USB mic. And it works, doesn't it? Just whatever you can afford. If you can afford $100, $200, they'll all be fine. Tips. I think my biggest tip for people starting music is just concentrate on songs. Just fucking don't worry about like gear or what things sound like, or if you've got the best this that all that. Just don't even worry about it. Just try and write the best song you can. That's what people give a shit about. They don't give a shit about your mic. Like Charlie doesn't give a shit about my mic.
He's
You
right.
know,
I don't give a fuck.
he doesn't give a shit, but he gives a shit about hearing a good song. So that's what you need to concentrate on, is just trying to write good songs, that you love. If you love them, hopefully other people will love them too. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's
But
really
okay,
good advice.
I have a U87 here. That's a mic that I use quite a lot. Charlie uses a is it a NT2000 Rode NT2000? That's not overly expensive. It's maybe $400, $500.
Yeah, it's the one we gave away, right? It's the fuck.
Yeah,
I think it's that.
I think it's
Yeah.
NT2000. All right, so this is my last one. Questions for the Q&A, which is from Postmodern Metro. Hey, that's Lo-Fi Real to Me
Oh,
girl.
nice.
Hi. Since y'all have built up a really strong base with your music, have you thought about starting a label to collab with or assist with bands and artists?
That was something I talked to Troy about a while ago. I thought it'd be super fucking cool. Like it was when we were doing Real to Me and I saw a lot of the covers, like the one you did, Drama Face. I saw a lot of these really talented artists like making their own covers of it and I check out their work and it's like really high quality stuff. I was like, damn, it'd be really cool down the line to like have a label to help out with getting this music out there and helping get it made. So that way people could actually make a living off their talent. But I mean, that's a huge undertaking. But it is kind of like a pipe dream that I've had. I thought it'd be really something cool that we could start exploring if we ever get like $1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is that there's so many artists that make great music who just don't have like exposure of any sort, and it's all just, but it's still down to circumstance, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd love to be in a position to be able to create a circumstance for people to be heard, you know. But it's, you know, I think we will. I think we'll try and do something, but I don't know if it'll be a label or just like a little special thing we do with other bands. I don't know, but yeah, that'll be great. That'd definitely be great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something that we think would be really cool to explore and figure
Yeah.
out how to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people this quite a lot. You know, I get asked questions like, "How do I get my music out there?" Um, you know, and they're kind of doubting themselves, and it's like I don't know. Like I honestly don't know. Like I've been making music for a long time, and I've been in bands with 2 listeners, with 1,000 listeners, with 1 million listeners, and it's all just based on your circumstance. You know, that's all it is. You have to, you know, I think the most important thing is just enjoying what you do, because if you're doing it just to get noticed, you're going to be fucking miserable. Honestly, you're going to be miserable as hell. Just try and enjoy what you're doing, and then if you don't get where you wanted to in the public, you know, at least you've had a good experience along the way. Otherwise, you just become bitter because you didn't become famous or well known or whatever, you know. So that's my advice anyway.
That's the
Look
same
for good.
advice I give when it comes to like streaming and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, you have to enjoy the ride because everything else just kind of boils down to a large part of it being luck.
yeah. And what was that interesting question, Charlie? That one you wanted to ask? What was that?
Are you talking about the would we eat each other's asses to survive or whatever the fuck that was?
So there was a question: if we were in a situation where to save our lives, would we eat each other's asses or suck each other's dicks? What's your answer?
Oh yeah, I mean the show must go on, Troy. Like if Troy dies, the gentleman dies. Like there's no replacement. Like I'm going in. Like I have to.
So which one is it? Is it the ass or the dick?
Oh, the ass would be a lot easier, I'd say.
Yeah,
A
I was
lot
gonna
less
say,
work.
like, you know, I'm not a fan of either, but I could probably justify the ass. I
Yeah.
could justify it,
Yeah, it's a lot
fucking a
less.
dick.
It's a lot less work too. Like your mouth is full with a dick and stuff, but with an ass, it's just like your tongue's on it. You know, it's not like you're actually like a whole asshole in your mouth. It's just like tongue punching it. So it's a lot easier, I'd say.
I guess with the ass, there's no goal either. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no like end result. It's just like, you know, maybe tick a little bit and you're done with with the dick. You've got a goal.
Yeah, there's definitely an end point on that one. So I think the ass is the absolute easiest and right answer, I'd say.
Especially a nice clean one, you'll be fine.
Oh, absolutely.
Fine. So I think that's us.
Nice. Well, yeah, that was good. Well, we really appreciate the questions and huge thank you to everyone for like the really kind words that you've all given. It really means a lot to us. So thank you all so much, and hope you're all excited for the other big projects we're cooking up. We got a lot of big ones on the way, so just stay tuned.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad that people want to ask us questions. We had so many, like over 1,000 questions, and I'm just glad people want to know things.
Yeah,
And yeah, so thanks a lot. Thanks for listening, and we'll maybe do another one soon.
sounds good. Yeah, thanks everyone.